What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Real Estate Uncensored, and this is a special tactical episode. We're going to talk about why CRMs are about to get a heck of a lot easier, and we have a special guest with us today who both of us know really well. We'll bring him in a second. First of all, Greg McDaniel, you were in the co-pilot seat where you so belong. Yes. What's up today?
What up, Johnson? I saw Solari was rocking his gold jacket, so I had to scamper off to my my bedroom and get my gold jacket unites here, so it's gonna be a good episode.
Right. But it's 1978. It's in the Valley, and both of you are selling for Century 21. I don't know why.
I just came back from door knocking. What'd you do today? Okay. You weren't even born yet. What am I talking about?
All right. So Scott Solari, who I know quite well, but I'll give you a more formal introduction in a second. But first of all, Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's good to be chatting with both of you again. I love it.
All right. So a little history lesson for all of you. Scott, I believe, brought Greg in as a client to viral marketing. So he was on the sales call that got Greg all hyped up about viral marketing.
Was he?
I believe so.
You were?
So at the time, I was a new account manager at Viral, and Scott trained me. So I was the first. Basically, Scott and I had to hang out virtually for way longer because you were in San Diego. I was back in Omaha, and we spent hours on Zoom and the phone every day talking,
Sorry,
and stuff
Johnson,
like that. I know.
It
was terrible.
To deal with that.
Oh, it was terrible. But it was a lot of fun, so that's fine. So it all worked out for the best. But yes, the training process was grueling, and I took 40 of the most undisciplined, off-system, hard to deal with. Not you, Greg. But I took 40. A lot of them were the original viral clients that started with Frank and then got passed to Scott and then got passed to me, right? So Scott, you and I have known each other for at least 5 years, at least as long as, longer than Greg and I have known each other. And you and I worked together in the office, in the viral office with Frank for a good 3 or 4 months before most of us started working from home. That would have been in 2014 going into 2015 when Greg and I first started hosting webinars. You and I, if people go back and watch the very first episodes of Real Estate Uncensored, they were broadcast from the office that I shared with you and Frank.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's awesome, man. And I love to see that you two, from that relationship, are still crushing Real Estate Uncensored. It's awesome to see 5 years later. I mean,
it has been 5 years. It's been an incredible 5 years. Matt's a blessed man to have me in his life. And Scott, I thank you for the introduction. I actually remember when, I think it was obviously you, Scott. I thought it was Caitlin, but I think it might have been you now. You're like, yeah, your coach is going to be this guy named Matt Johnson. And I remember this so clearly because I laugh at it now. I'm like, is he cool or is he a douche? And Scott, you're like, I think he's pretty cool. I'm like,
little did they know.
Little did they know.
Exactly. I suppressed my douchey tendencies for just long enough until I could rope Greg into doing a podcast together, and then I get to yell at Greg behind the scenes every day. All right. So Scott, you are now, I think your official title is it VP of Sales for RealSync?
Yeah, head of sales. I made it up. I mean, standard.
What
do you want to be called? Head of sales and marketing? I don't really know what I'm doing, but yeah.
All right.
Sure. I'm running marketing.
Head of sales for RealSync. So we're going to talk about kind of what's going on in the CRM world, because there's some cool stuff coming into real estate that previously was really only available to people that were running Salesforce, HubSpot, some of the really big time CRMs that were only available to companies that were willing to fork out $2,000 a month. Now these kinds of things are working their way down into the real estate world. You're working for a company that's working on it. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. We want to talk about just the bigger picture of maybe where CRMs are going, because there's a lot of agents that are on different systems. And if you're listening to this, this is not a pitch to get on a new CRM, and you're about to find out why, because it's going to get to the point where it matters a lot less what CRM you're on. You're going to be able to do the things that you want to do regardless. And so that's what I want to talk about with Scott. So first of all, Scott, just give us maybe a little bit of a background on just what RealSync, the company, is and where that came from.
Yeah. So RealSync's been in business about 3 years. First year was gathering connectivity agreements with all the real estate CRMs and different applications. And as you guys know, there's so many different apps out there. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And over the last year, we've really brought on a lot of users using our middleware. So basically we're middleware, right? So when everyone always talking about the unicorn of that perfect CRM that does everything you ever need it to do. And it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
and the reason is because there's there's tech constantly being developed, and it's impossible for the CRMs to keep up. They just can't. So that's where middleware comes in. That's what RealSync is, right? So we automate your CRM to different applications. So data, tasks, triggers, anything that you, like any kind of use case, like anything you need your CRM to do with this other app, we create that integration so that you don't have your agents in multiple systems doing double data entry, and or your admin staff spending a lot of time entering in your CRM into the transaction coordination system, and just all of this wasted time and effort and errors with data because you're having people manually enter stuff in, or you're hiring VAs to do it, right? And nothing against them, but naturally there's human error as you're doing that stuff. So our company is the middleware that allows the automation to happen, the tasks to happen, and push back and forth. So you can think of it as a customized Zapier in a sense. We're specific for real estate, and we do much deeper integrations compared to zapping something.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's a pretty good comparison. So anybody that's used different softwares, like integrating something to have your Dropbox sync with Drive or anything like that, you might have used Zapier in the past. This is a lot like that, but this is a whole new level. And just a quick word on the whole CRM stuff. Dude, you and I, Scott, have worked with a lot of agents. Oh my God, how many agents have we worked with over the years?
I don't want to remind myself how many conversations I've had.
Yeah, exactly. You and I have had a lot of conversations with agents about their CRM, and we get a lot of those questions just because we talk to so many people that we get a lot of those questions about, like, hey, what's so-and-so using? What's
the best one?
What's the best? Exactly. Well, the problem is there is no best one, right? If you're a newer agent, you should go out and get Real Geeks or something like that, or KV Core, or if you're one of our agents under EXP, you've got something for free, Greg, which you can talk about. If you're a team leader, you might look at Commissions Inc., you might look at Boomtown. But all those things being considered, I mean, even some of the top team leaders go out and end up building something custom for themselves because they think they need it. They run into some roadblock, even with the best software out there. And you're so right. Things move fast enough, and there's all these specialty softwares that pop up from time to time that you're like, man, if I could only have that included in the software that I have now. Well, that's not the goal anymore, right? You will never have that. You will never have all the features you want in that one software you want, which is why something like RealSync exists. So we'll talk about one of the examples of the new things that are coming down the pipe. But Greg, what's the would just give us an overview real quick for the people that are like in EXP. What's the CRM and the kind of the suite that they get that's included in all that?
That's KV Core. We've been using KV Core. We use another one I think we used Sync for a little while, but then we switched over to KV Core. You get the full-blown version of it. You can do everything: social media, database integrations.
And KV Core is the new name for conversion, if I remember right.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And
So everybody's familiar with conversion.
And it's good. They can do a ton, but it does everything that I want it to do? Of course not. You're not going to find that unicorn that shits, sherbet. It's just not going to happen. You can find a good one, but just not that unicorn. I mean, I keep one in my backyard, but that's just me.
One of my clients just interviewed the guys behind those commercials of the unicorn pooping in Squatty Pot. Yes, he's hilarious. Okay.
Oh my God.
So Scott, talk about the integration that's coming with Gmail that will allow people to essentially update and add contacts and make changes to people's contact records without even getting into a software. They just do it right from Gmail.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things we found, and again, like going back to what you said, Matt, it's like it doesn't matter the CRM, right? It matters what you're connecting your CRM to and how you can automate the different applications that you need to use, the 3, 4, 5 things, right? And create that all in one that way. So what we found is, Gmail is like the number one thing used for all agents, right? Either Gmail or Microsoft Office.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we all know, and the agents we talk to know, that you get stuck in there. You get stuck working in your Gmail and sitting in your email, and you have to jump back and forth to the CRM to, search the contact, pull it up, add a note, and it's just a process, right? Mm-hmm. So imagine being able to do it right from your Gmail without having to leave. So we're bringing the CRM through a plugin into the Gmail in the sense where you can create a new contact record. You can track the emails that are going back and forth in your Gmail right into the activity feed in the CRM. You can change the lead assignment, lead status, add a tag, add a note, add a transaction, add a task, pretty much anything that you can do that's functional in the CRM, you're going to be able to do in the Gmail plugin. And so that way if you're in your email and you're getting a referral or you're getting a new contact, you can just do everything right there, really quick, seamless, no errors. You can make sure you update the contact record if you had to with a note, and you don't forget, right? It's not something you have to go back and do later. So that it's all happening in real time, and it's going to, it's going to save errors and get more data in the CRM. And then it's going to save you time over the month. If your agents can just with that right there, buy back, a couple hours a week, now even an hour a week. I mean, what can you do with that time if you're productive? Right.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think not only just adding the contact to the record and being able to assign it to a certain lead status, which can then trigger certain things in CRMs, right? Trigger follow-up sequences, all that fun stuff. So that's great in and of itself. Now, if you're the average agent listening to this going, yeah, but I don't have any of that set up, that's fine. Even just the ability to set up a contact, and then the CRM automatically tracks the emails that you're sending back and forth and adds it to the activity feed. So you don't have to, if you need to go look back for a message, you don't have to try to go scouring through your Gmail. You can just scroll back through the activity feed in a CRM. Like that stuff you used to only be able to do on Salesforce or HubSpot, like stuff that was $1,000 or $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And you can do all that just, without really ever leaving your Gmail, just by adding someone as a contact real quick. Those are the kinds of things we're talking about. Because this works really, really well for team leaders and brokers that have agents underneath them where they want those agents to do stuff, and this makes it easier for them to do stuff. But if you're an individual agent running, let's say Real Geeks or something like that, like this is going to make your life a lot easier too, because then you can add contacts and do a ton of stuff that you used to have to go into the software for, and now you can just do it right from Gmail, right?
Right. And the insight, right? Like the insight, like you mentioned, like that you're going to get, where you can just be in the contact record 6 months down the road and see everything that has happened with that contact because it was syncing with your Gmail, right? And have all that data right there to where you're like, oh, this is the last email communication I had, instead of having to go back to your Gmail, search in the email, and like it just, you're in two places, right?
Greg, you and I have talked about this, like you calling your past database, you're always like, like what to, like, well, because that's one of the things. It's not just that I don't know what to say. It's that I don't know what to say because I don't know where we left things off.
Right.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to go back and search them. I mean, we've been using Top Producer for as long as I can remember in this business, so 20 plus years. And it's clunky as all get out because you got to go up there, you got to put the specific thing in. If you want to get the address, you can't put the address, the 123 Main Street. You got to put Main Street. Then you got to scroll through everybody on fucking Main Street. Then you got to find Bob and Sue. That's not the right Bob and Sue. You got to find Bob and Sue on Smith Street, not Main Street. It's like, oh, for the love of baby Jesus, and this is just like, Scott, you can also, like, when you attach it to your Gmail or however it's going to work.
You download a plugin, just like a normal plugin you would download to Chrome or whatever. When
you download the plugin, you can obviously upload all of your contacts in your Gmail into your CRM, and your CRM can come into your email, right?
You don't have to upload. You're going to be able to search the CRM right there in the plugin. So like, let's say you're in an email, but like you're like, I just got a phone call. I got to update this other contact record. You just search the plugin right there. It's going to pull up that contact record from your CRM.
Yeah, so you can literally be on the phone with somebody, pull up somebody's contact records of their name and email and all that stuff like that right within Gmail, and you can change their status, you can add a tag, you can do all that stuff like that you'd normally have to flip over and open your software for. You can do that right within Gmail.
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy it because I live in my Gmail. Obviously, it's going to be associated with your Google Calendar as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any of those features that
I live and die by my Google Calendar. If it's not on my Google Calendar, it's not in my life, because I'll just go overbook stuff. I'll do all that stuff. And your team members and your team, manager and everything else, they could go into your Gmail or go into, if you have a team Gmail account or whatever, they can update your calendars for you. Or does the plugin do that on the reverse way?
If the CRM allows you to book like times into your, if the CRM already integrates with the Google Calendar and allows you to do it from the CRM, then this will allow you to do it as well. If the CRM doesn't, then it won't. right?
Gotcha.
So like, a lot of people use Calendly or like some of these other, integrations with your Gmail calendar. So for instance, HubSpot, if you pay like at a certain level, it does an auto integration with the Gmail calendar.
Right.
So then it would work through the plugin as well. So it's the same thing with these CRMs, whether it's Boomtown or Firepoint or Real Geeks or whatever. If those have the integration feature with the calendar, then our plugin will allow for that to happen as well.
That's actually that. I'm gonna be very excited to test this out and kind of see how it works, because the implications here is just massive. It's saving all the time. So you already have Google, Mail on your phone. Just this can be a mobile app or just a desktop app?
Now, so if you go into your Google Mail, you'll notice that plugins don't pull into the Gmail application. So
what a bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
gosh.
that's a Google functionality. So it's desktop only. Okay. Obviously you could like log into your browser and try to do it that way, but it's not going to be that functional that way, right? If you're logging into the Chrome app and then trying to log into your Gmail, like that's a pain. So it's much more for desktop. Like let's just say you're at home for the first 3-4 hours of the morning doing your prospecting, which you should be doing, right? This is when you're using it.
So laptop, desktop, is tablet?
iPad, tablet.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Just any of those devices. So
it's more the mobile, like if you're in the Gmail app
on
your mobile phone, it doesn't pull in any plugins.
Okay. That actually kind of makes sense. And everyone has a laptop or a tablet or a desktop. I mean, so everyone on God's green earth in this industry should be, taking a look at this, because it's going to save a ton of time and take away a lot of confusion. I mean, funny thing is that we always joke around that every single time like a lead comes in or something takes place, we have to send it to my team manager and to me, because then she can put it into the CRM, right? Because God knows I'm not doing it.
Good Lord. Yes, that sounds like a nightmare. So stop doing that. All right. But it is good news, because I think we've seen it like outside the real estate space, just, the Zapiers of the world. And you mentioned another one that's more specific in the Salesforce world, that I think things are getting easier to have. Like the easier it gets to integrate different things like this, the better we will get at having really specialized software that gets really, really good at certain things, instead of having these bloated softwares that used to be good at one thing and now they try to do 80 things and they do them all badly, right? Like, let's be honest, Top Producer is a good example of that. They've been around for so long. There's so much legacy bloat there that it's hard to integrate. It's hard to get off of it, so I think that's a very good thing. So I'm encouraged by that, and hopefully it keeps some agents from feeling like they need to stop progress to ask the question, what's the best CRM? Because Scott, you and I both know you don't hear a lot of the top team leaders asking that question.
No,
because they know it's not a critical question.
Yeah,
it's what you do with the CRM that counts.
It's 100%. It's what you do with it. It's how it's adopted and used, and whether you can get your agents using it and putting in the accurate data. Because if it's not going into the CRM accurate, then any automation that you have set up isn't going to be pulling accurate data. Right?
No, you'll end up setting someone on a sequence of emails they shouldn't have gotten, and then it'll take more time to deal with that than it would have just set up the automation the right way. Somebody asked me the other day if they should get on HubSpot. I think it was a marketing agency owner, and I told him something that I think will be helpful to most agents, which is, I said, look, the only reason to change CRMs is if there is a game-changing thing that would grow your business, that CRM could do that you can't do right now, and there's no other way around it. It is a roadblock standing between you and doing the thing that is going to explode your business. I would say for most people, that's not true. Yeah. They're looking for a CRM to be a solution, and the CRM isn't the solution unless there's something specific you can point to say, yeah, I can't do email follow-up sequences, or I can't sort my database so that I can make calls because my CRM is that bad. Great. Definitely look at upgrading your CRM, or maybe you look at RealSync and just upgrading the automation between them. But yeah, I think that would help a lot of people, is just if you can't nail down one specific thing that would explode your business that you can't do right now, and that CRM will make that easy for you to do and you'll actually do it, then by all means, go sign up for a new CRM.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the more important things is tasking someone to be in charge of like
Yeah.
understanding the CRM and how
Yeah.
it functions and all the things you can do with it. That way that you can put training together for the agents that are coming in or the ones that you have, you know.
Yep. 100% true. Yeah. Somebody needs to own it, own the transition.
Yeah, because what ends up happening is then you're using it at like 20%, right? And there's like all this other things that you didn't know you could do with that CRM, and instead you're like, what's the next best CRM? When it's like, no, the one you got's good.
Yeah. No, I mean, you were Frank and I were talking about this the other day, just when Infusionsoft first came into real estate, and everybody was gaga over it. Like you lived through that back at Viral. We were both there.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was just it was the great white hope. It was the next thing. It was going to change everything. And for a few, it did. For the Greg Harrelsons of the world, it did.
Yeah.
But not for most other people, right? Because they couldn't unlock its true potential. They thought it was a magic solution just to get it in the business, and then it stopped there. They didn't actually do the things with it that would actually change their business.
No, they ended up wasting months of their life trying to figure it out, right?
Yes. Exactly. It's funny. I was getting somebody started today. We were in somebody's Infusionsoft account, and I just had to explain to my new producer internally that the nickname for the software is Confusionsoft for a reason, and you're about to learn why. It just reminded me of the days with Scott where he had to explain that to me. Oh, all right, Scott. What's the so there's a couple things that we need to do to reach out to learn more about RealSync, and then you mentioned that there is a way to get like a free. Yeah. So let's go through that real quick.
Yeah. So just realsync.com, and that's sync synch.com. Okay. So, and then if you want to get a free trial for this, for the new plugin, you're gonna have to reach out to me right now. You can't sign up online because there's an onboarding process, but we will give you a free month so you can test it out. And it's just shoot me an email, Scott at realsync.com, or you can give me a call. I'm sure you'll drop the phone number in here.
Well, let's what's the probably,
or you can even
message might be better.
You know what? And I'll put a link where you can go and just opt in our website, and I can follow up with you that way as well. So
yeah, let's do that. Yeah, just go to realsync.com, opt in there, and just keep tabs. I think by the time we release it,
and then the
plugin
promo
will only be a couple weeks away.
Yeah, so the promo will be uncensored, right? Just what your podcast is. So if you just mention that you heard it here, then you get that free month.
Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, what's the best way to reach out and connect with you?
Oh, you book an appointment through you, and then I'll be happy to talk with people.
Really? Yes. That.
Wait, why would anyone want to talk to Greg? I don't get it.
No, they have to talk to me. He's saying they want to talk to me. They have to talk to me to talk to Greg, and that will result in a very slim calendar for you, Greg, because you will never get an appointment booked.
Well, I'm going to use Solari's new product, and it'll just go right to my Gmail. See? I just cut you out, Matt. You are now unemployed. Go to the breadlines.
No being Greg's assistant.
In all actuality, guys, send me a DM on Facebook. Make sure you follow me there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Greg McDaniel, REU for Real Estate Uncensored. Also, if you guys want to, give me a call, 925-915-1978. We're doing some pretty incredible things with our team over at EXP, showing a lot of folks with this whole pandemic and this whole, everyone working from home, kind of how you can save a lot of money, get some excellent training. Because I'm pretty sure the brokerage you're at right now, if you can't go in the office, you're not getting the training. So if you guys want to learn more, listen to our podcast. You're already intelligent because you're doing that. 2, contact me to talk and hang out, and I'll give you Matt's private phone number. And then we will go forward and get you guys kind of talk about EXP if that's something you want to do. So anyways, Matt, you have a leaflet you put together or something like that, right? That they can get.
Yes, I have a leaflet. It's called a book, Greg. You should try reading one sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, go to microfamousbook.com. You can learn more about it there. Get a free physical copy. Just pay for the shipping, and learn how to get microfamous. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up right there. Let's tie a nice red bow upon this episode, and Greg, take us away.
All right, we're going to do a red bow for Microfamous's book. You guys can see right behind Matt. Scott, great to see you again, my friend. You inspired me with your gold jacket to wear my gold jacket, even though yours looks better. And again, Matt, you're out of the cool club. But we love all of you that listen to the show. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting. Give us a 5-star on iTunes or any other podcasting sites. And give us a comment in YouTube, guys, because we love you, we trust you, we like you, we need you. But until next time, peace out, ninjas. We go.